and how the kings are speaking.
The book of Isaiah is difficult, full disclosure. You are in so much trouble. If you don't know the context, you're dead. Because basically, the church is hiding almost every chapter in the book of Isaiah, except for chapter 7, 9, and 53.
اللهم لولا أنت ما اهتدينا ولا تصدقنا ولا صلينا اللهم لولا أنت ما اهتدينا.
Just wanted to talk about Isaiah 53.
Sure.
And how we know the introduction of servant, how the plural goes into the singular, and the remnants, it starts with 41 and then goes all the way. I know you have asked people to note down how many times the servant is used there, and how you say that Isaiah 52, whenever a Christian quotes you. I think there was a Korean missionary in Jerusalem you were talking about, and she mentioned Isaiah 53, and you said, what's Isaiah 52 about? You cannot just pick up a book and start reading from 53. You don't know what kind of how the book is, how it's like two parts or whatever it is, what numbers is, like like this Psalms, there's a lament psalm, this and that, stuff like that. And then you talk about the audience when it changes from 13, 14, 15, and then 8 verses of 53, and then changes back again, and how the kings are speaking. If you can please explain that, so that, and I'm going to chop it up for a short.
Isaiah 53, the book of Isaiah is difficult, full disclosure. Out of 66 chapters, 61 of them are poetry. It's a special kind of poetry. It's unique to Isaiah. So let's just get that out of the way. You cannot pick up the book of Isaiah and just read it, and you'll get it like you could the book of Joshua or the book of Genesis, which are written using standard narrative prose. It's nothing like that. So Isaiah is very vulnerable. So if you don't know this, you are in so much trouble, because you don't know. Isaiah does not highlight who's speaking. He just doesn't. It's poetry. It just moves from one to the other. And therefore, if you don't know the context, you're dead. And the text could be completely misappropriated. Like, it doesn't say what Christians say it says, because you don't know who's speaking. So exactly correct. And I have been stopped on the streets by missionaries who raise Isaiah 53 with me. And I always ask them, like, what does it say in 51? And or 52, and while they could recite 53 by heart, they have no idea what it says in 54 and have to look it up. Why? Because basically the church is hiding almost every chapter in the book of Isaiah, except for chapter 7, 9, and 53. So they don't know, because they're not taught. They're not evil. They just don't know. So this is a section called the servant songs. You're exactly correct. It's all poetry. God is speaking about the righteous remnant of Israel in the singular, sometimes moving into the plural. So Isaiah 41, 8, and 9. Now, if you're a Muslim, you would know about God, that Abraham was God's friend. Okay, that's Isaiah 41, verse 8, incidentally. Okay, you have 43, verse 10, 11. You are my witnesses, declares the Lord, my servants, singular, plural, it's the same. 44, 1, 21, 45, 4. I can go on. The point is, if you're not familiar with the chapters that introduce Isaiah 53 and this land of you are clueless. You have no chance of understanding it. If you read it in context, the Gentile kings of the nation are speaking from 53:1 to 53:8. God is speaking in 13 through 15, and 53, 9 through 12. That's all. It's just ripped out of context. This is called an eisegesis. It's the worst thing you could do to a text, which means you can hear that word isolate. You can isolate a certain passage from its context. That means you don't let the text speak for itself. What we always want to do is we want to engage in exegesis, or an exegetical reading. What does that mean? We're reading a text in context, and we're letting the context determine the meaning of the passage. We're allowing the holy book to speak for itself, rather than inserting with violence a meaning that's just not there because you happen to believe in Jesus. So right, that's exactly correct. 53 is just ripped out of context, and unless you know Isaiah, people often don't, and it's a hard book. I get it. I'm teaching it. Go on YouTube. You can watch me go through the book of Isaiah. It's not very difficult. It's not brain
Like
surgery.
Zechariah. It's not as difficult as Zechariah, I guess.
Zechariah is difficult. You're right. Zechariah is difficult because it begins with a whole series of visions that are difficult. There are chapters in Zechariah which are easy to read, but it opens up with 8 massive visions. Now, again, I don't want to scare anyone. They're not incredibly difficult, but the visions requires explanation. Isaiah is very difficult. When I say very, please don't be scared. I'm just saying you just got to read in context. May need someone a little help along the way.
Yes. Also, when you mention Isaiah, right? So, like Nehemiah 9:6 and I think Deuteronomy 4:35, Isaiah 45 speaks about a singular person of God, and we're gonna go into the singular and plural later. But there was a talk about the Messiah being mentioned in the Tanakh, I guess 38 times. Correct me if I'm wrong.
30. I think it's 39.
39. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. 39, I think, would make sense. I think the reason you're saying 38, it appears 39 times, but in 38 or 37 passages. But it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. And you said it rarely talks about Mashiach in that sense.
It never
And
does.
Yes.
Never. Zero
never.
times.
Okay.
Right.
And I want you to talk about just very short the Jewish concept of Messiah, and then in Isaiah 45 when Cyrus is called anointed one, and then the placement of the book of Ezra after Daniel in Christian Bibles. Why is it moved from there? About the first 7 chapters, and how if you read that book after Daniel, you'll know what it talks about and what it doesn't talk about, which is Jesus.
I'm very impressed. You really, really do watch my videos. I mean, a lot, because that's like very high level. I like you, my dear brother. I really do. You're a sweet man. I'm very, that's very beautiful. I mean, you really, that's high level. Okay.
إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما